I am back. I just delivered that Starbucks it's practically, I had to go get there by Missouri to get to the Bella Vista address, which was cool. And as you can see here, I am going all the way back, and I'm going to go try to make it to Chick-fil-A before I get another order. That's sad that I would want to do that, but there's not much in Bella Vista. Let's face it, you're driving most of the time, not getting an order. And God, I wanted to tell you, I am now. Yesterday, I checked out this new show called Soulmates, which it only looked like it had like 6 episodes, and it's AMC. I'm assuming I have AMC till the 14th, and that's when it'll cancel, so I can watch whatever, locally, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to watch this show. But I was on. Wait, how could I say that? It was on Netflix, wasn't it? No, this is a Netflix show, but why is it saying AMC? I don't know. At any rate, I don't know. Maybe AMC is now. Netflix is doing AMC shows too, like they do. Yeah, which they do Fear, they do Walking Dead. So yeah, of course they are. I forget, but it's kind of weird. Okay, the first episode was this lady who I guess the norm was that this test, right, that can tell you who your soulmate is, right, and she starts, like, she's happy because her and her husband are actually very happy together, right? They're like in love. They have the perfect kind of relationship-ish, not really 100%, because is any relationship perfect? No. But now all of a sudden everyone around her is starting to do this test and find somebody, like her brother did, and her friend, who's her neighbor, which at first I thought was her sister, but I think it's just her best friend, who's married and anyway wants to divorce her husband and find her soulmate because she feels like she married the wrong guy. She's like, you married the right guy, but I did not. So anyway, so she started to have doubts herself all of a sudden with everybody doing this, right? Like her brother, who apparently hops from woman to woman and has never met anybody, he meets his soulmate, and they're all out tabby-dory, they get married and blah blah, and she's starting to go, this is ridiculous. And everywhere she goes, you see all these people hugging and kissing and holding each other, and I think she's starting to feel like, what, down in herself, kind of like, what, comparing herself to all these people. And then her friend even does it, and it's ironically, okay, she might be a little jealous because, like I said, right now she's already having all these doubts. She's already starting to think, oh, are we even, me and my husband are even whatever, And anyway, so, oh God, let's see. Well, yeah, so her friend, I guess, I don't know if she told her husband what she's doing, but he kicked her ass out. He threw her out the damn door. It's like, she's like, what do you expect? Of course, because, yeah, she said, I'm waiting for her new sweetheart to come. Anyway, then it shows her brother actually having problems with his new wife. But he's like, oh, but it's okay because you know what? I know it's gonna last because we're in for the long run, and we're soulmates, and we're meant to be. So that's why he's like, even if all the shit that he has to put up with, it's okay because we're soulmates. And then, ironically, she goes to take the test, but she decides at the last minute that she does love her marriage and all this stuff. So she's like, no, I don't need to know who my soulmate is. But she goes and tells her husband, which I had a feeling because they were kind of showing him like hiding his phone and this and that a little bit, like little things like that. Apparently, he went and took the test because her doubts started putting in his damn head. So he started having doubts, I guess, I don't know. So he's like, I met her already. He already met this woman, and he's like, yeah, so I guess they break up. And then she goes and finds her soulmate because they're in a car together, and it shows her, like, I want to say, I don't remember how, I don't know, but she's with another man, he's with that woman, and then she goes to pick up her kids, and he goes, he asks her, because I think he feels like, he's like, I miss you. I think he regrets. Like, he might have a soulmate, but it's not the same as what they had. You know what I mean? It's so ironic, right? And even the guy she's with, they look like they're bored. They look like they're bored. Which, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting concept because it's like, I guess even if you're with your soulmate, it's not going to be perfect, right? It's not going to be all lovey-dovey all the time like they keep showing. Like it was more like her brother. He's like, oh my God, got to put up with the differences and this and that. And plus, what if the computer is wrong? Or it puts you with whoever the hell it wants. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to put you with this person or whatever. You know what I mean? How accurate? Do they really believe this? That this test can tell you, I know who your soulmate is. But at the same time, both people have to. Oh my God, vultures say that they have to be in the system to get paired. Okay, if your soulmate does not, but at the same time, they're saying that usually, like if you go and take the test, all of a sudden your soulmate is gonna pair, want to go, like feel like I need to do it. I need to take this test because they're missing something. Like it's instant kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, so they're kind of wanting to also find their soulmate. It's kind of weird, but it was an interesting episode. And then the second one, okay? The second one, which seems more, what you call it to me, was this, okay, this guy who's a professor, and I don't know, you could tell that like this one lady who needs help, she kind of hinted she'd sleep with this guy, right? Maybe for a good grade, you know? She likes older men, you can tell, but she's hinting, right? And he's married to a woman that's, I guess, way above his grade, you know, like, you know, she's got money and stuff and this and that and, you know, whatever. But anyway, so, and the father hates him, thinks he's just in it, he's married her for money, blah, 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 you know, one of those kind of things. This lady comes up to him and she says, I'm your soulmate. And, you know, he's like, how did you find out? Because he had closed his his account, right? And oh God, you know, because he said, I guess for him, when he did it a long time ago, you know, he was looking for somebody, you know, he wanted to find a soulmate, but then he met his future wife and he fell in love with her, so he closed it when he got married to her, because he's like, okay, I don't need to find someone, I found someone I love, you know, which actually I think is pretty sweet, you know. But then he turns into an asshole, obviously, because he's whatever. So he goes, and then he meets this woman. Like I said, he start talking, and he started feel the pull that they're soulmates, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, you know, and then he fucking sleeps with her, you know. And then she apparently took pictures, because then she posted some of those pictures. But she should have thought this. He should have realized who else was in there with him, you know. Because she posted in his class, and this and that. And then she's trying to start kind of ruining his life. And she, you know, first she's trying to say, oh, it's because she wants, I don't know if she wants them to break up or what, him and his wife, you know what I mean? But but later on you find out that actually he apparently had an affair with one of his students when he was younger, and she killed herself, you know. She killed herself, you know, in the end. Apparently he or she ruined her reputation or something, because she was probably so obsessed with him, he said, right? And he killed himself, he said, you know. And anyway, so that's what this is. She wanted to ruin his life because of it. So it really was nothing to do with the wife. It had to do with his sister, her sister. But which then made me think: was she really his soulmate then? Was that a lie? So did he just, because she goes, oh, I'm your soulmate, all of a sudden felt, oh, I want to sleep with you and have marry because I feel like I love you because of some connection? I don't know. That part I'm still 100% sure about. But could you imagine? You know, either way, it was crazy, because it shows at the end he threatens her, and you know, because she did do a criminal act, hacking into something, and he's like, yeah, look what I'll do. I know you're lying, because when he did the research to find out who she was, he's like, I know who you're with, I know your family, and I will ruin everybody if you know, ruin my life. But believe it or not, after he gets tenure, 11 months later, she does go, and she freaking. Now this is the thing, I'm not sure, because he had a video of him, I want to say getting on top of her and choking her. Now, I don't know if it was the sister or not, but I think it was that lady. And I was like, how the hell did he get a video of him choking her, like physically? And then the wife had called, because I don't know what she did to him. Oh, she probably sent him the video of him sleeping with her. You know, like, look, your husband's a cheating bastard. Because that's what he gets, right? That's what he deserves. Lose his job, lose his self-respect, lose everything. Maybe even go to jail, because he probably tried to suffocate this woman. I don't know. But he didn't kill her, you know, which just shows that she did get up and stuff. But she got her revenge. ruined his life. You know? And that was the end of that one. But like I said, I don't know if she was his soulmate. But I thought it was kind of interesting premises that, yeah, you could have a psychotic soulmate. You know, like obsessive, crazy, whatever. You know? At the same time, because you know that's a thing too. But it was, like I said, those are the 2 stories so far I've watched. I am going to watch the rest of them because I want to see what happens, because yeah, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, that's the new show, and I guess I'm almost a Chick-fil-A. Yay. If I got an order, I don't know, because it hasn't made a noise or anything. But I'm gonna go eat some Chick-fil-A, hopefully get some gas sometime, and make some money. I've already took 2 orders. I'm really shy of, I think, $2 having $20. Once I get my tip. So, like I said, I'm gonna try and gauge it where we're still kind of hopefully averaging $10 an order. To make 220. But like I said, it'll probably be, no matter what, I probably will have to do over 20. I always do. It would be pretty lucky if I don't have to do over 20 to get $200. We'll see. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna sign up for now. Oh, and oh yeah, because we're not there yet. I wanted to say too that, yeah, when me and Sarah were out and at the Barnes & Noble, we were talking about that stuff I told you about the kids things, because I know the LDS believe that the families are together because they bind their families together. They do some kind of ritual thing where they, like you can be somehow binded together, your kids, your husband. So obviously, that's what they do, and which really sounds sweet, it really does. But yeah, I have to admit, like, I just don't know, because like what the Bible says makes you question, about marriage on the planet. Are we going to have kids? But if we have kids, would they? I mean, no, by then there would be no sin, right? But we still would have freedom of will. So that's what I'm saying. Does that mean everybody born would just automatically be like choosing God over everything else, or you know what I mean? I don't know. So I do have some questions there. Okay, I do have questions. But anyway. And do we quit at a certain age because we're never going to get old? Do we quit like, say, 20 years old? Where that's it. You're 20, you stop growing. You know what I mean? If you're a baby. What's the age? What's the perfect age for a human to be? And stuff, Like Adam and Eve, what would they have been? I wonder what age they were. Will we go back to being 30? Is 30 like young enough and yet... You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's healthy at 30 years old as a mature adult. Which I guess I wouldn't mind being 30 again, I guess. But I'm sure a lot of us would be like, 16! 16 is the perfect age! Let's face it. I would think that with the age we all wish we could go back to. Maybe, I definitely wouldn't want to be 12. Let me tell you that. That's when you get your period. I'm just kidding. All right. I got mine at 10, by the way. So I got mine young, okay? It was not 12. So 10. Goodness gracious. Anyway, I will talk to you later. I made it to Chick-fil-A. Bye.